All right, let's jump right in. We're going to talk about something huge today, and that's the great big myth of career safety. For years, we've all been sold this idea that a safe job is the end goal. But what if I told you that's just not true anymore? Today, we're building the blueprint for where you can find real security, especially as we look towards 2026 and beyond.
So let's just start with a little truth bomb right out of the gate. Does this hit a little too close to home? If you've ever had that Sunday evening feeling, that pit in your stomach, or just felt like you're on a treadmill going nowhere, well, this is exactly where our conversation begins. It's such a powerful line because it just cuts through all the noise.
And this, right here, this is the fundamental shift in thinking we have to make. The old myth, the one our parents probably believed in, was that the 9 to 5 was safety. You put in your time, you get a steady paycheck, maybe a pension. But the new reality? It's completely different. Real, lasting security doesn't come from a logo on a building. It comes from your gift. So, what on earth do we mean by your gift? Let's be really clear about this. This is not about being some kind of Mozart or a once-in-a-generation genius. No. It's way simpler and honestly more accessible than that. Your gift is just the thing you do best with the least amount of effort. It's what feels like play to you, but looks like work to others. It's your natural talent. And trust me, every single one of us has one.
Okay, so if the whole game is to build a career around this gift of yours, how do you actually do it? It's not about just walking into your boss's office tomorrow and quitting. It's about building a real foundation, which brings us right to what we call the 4 pillars of purpose.
So here they are, the 4 big building blocks. First up, the inventory. That's all about knowing yourself. Then, the market need. You got to find where you fit in the world. Third, the skill stack. This is about getting the right tools for the job. And finally, number 4, monetization. Turning that purpose into a paycheck. We're going to unpack each one of these. Pillar number 1, the inventory, is really about pinpointing your unfair advantage. That's just another way of saying your gift. What is it that you can do that other people find really, really hard? Then, pillar 2 is where you connect that gift to a real problem in the world. And listen, not just any problem. We're talking about a bleeding neck problem. Something so painful, so urgent, people are desperate to pay for a solution.
Now, this is so important. Think of it this way. Your purpose, your passion, that's the car. It's the vehicle, it gives you direction, it gets you excited for the journey. But that car is going absolutely nowhere without fuel. And that's what skills are. Passion is amazing, but passion alone won't get you there. You need the fuel, the skills, to actually move forward.
Which leads us perfectly into pillars 3 and 4. So, pillar 3 is all about that skill stack. It's not enough to love music, you have to learn the business of music. Things like publishing, marketing, all that stuff. And pillar 4, monetization, is about building a ladder. You start by giving away value for free to build an audience and trust, then you create a clear path for them to move up to your premium products and services. Okay, so you've figured out your gift, you've got the framework, now what? Who are you going to serve? The internet can feel like you're screaming into a hurricane, right? But the winning strategy for 2026 isn't about being the loudest. It's about whispering to just the right people. And that's where the micro-niche strategy comes in. And here's the magic number. You can just take a deep breath here, because you don't need millions of followers. You don't need to go viral on TikTok. All you need is 1,000 true believers. Just 1,000 people who absolutely love what you do, who get your message, and who are genuinely happy to support you and your work. Doesn't that make it all feel so much more possible?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? If all you need is this small, dedicated tribe, where in the world are they? And how do you find them without spending a fortune or just getting lost in the noise?
Well, the answer is actually this simple 3-step process. And the first one might sound a little weird, but stick with me. First, you audit your complaints. Yes, your complaints. Second, you productize your solution. And third, you scale your message to reach the people who are waiting to hear it. So here's what that actually looks like in practice. For the audit, I want you to look back over the last 5 years of your life. What major problem did you solve for yourself? What hurdle did you overcome? That solution, that's your product. So next, you productize it. You package up that solution as a course, or a consulting service, or maybe a private community. And finally, you scale it. You use all the amazing tools we have today, like AI, to get your message in front of those 1,000 people who are struggling with the exact problem you already figured out. So, we've covered the framework, we've covered the strategy, but now we need to bring this all back home. We need to bring it all back to you.
And it all boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful question. What makes you come alive? So just for a second, I want you to really sit with this. Let's pretend money is completely off the table. The mortgage is paid, the bills are handled, everything's taken care of. If you had complete financial freedom, what would you do with your time? That answer, the thing that just popped into your head, that is a massive clue pointing you straight towards your gift.
And we're going to end on this because this quote just says it all. The whole point of the purpose economy isn't about finding a clever gap in the market. The point is to find the thing that sets your soul on fire and then go do that thing. Build your life and your security around it. Because at the end of the day, what the world really truly needs is more people who have come alive.